Our next speaker will be Jill Tartar of the SETI Institute, where she holds the Bernard M. Oliver Chair for Search for Extraterrestrial Intelligence Research, a very cool job. She also serves on the management board of the Allen Telescope Array, an array of 42 6-meter telescopes constantly sweeping the skies of Earth, searching among the innumerable naturally occurring radio sources for that radio signal which is obviously engineered, which comes from some technology, that signal that tells us that we are not alone. Jill Tartar.
Good evening. It's a real pleasure to be here tonight in the great company and to celebrate the real R-E-E-L science of the Marvel Cinematic Universe and the real science of SETI that I've spent my career engaged in. Dr. Strange ends up gaining an ability to see his universe, the universe, our universe, in different ways. And I hope that tonight, when you leave here, I will have helped you to begin to see your universe in a different way. So I'm here on a mission tonight. I want to change your perspective. Now, it's a perspective that my colleagues working on SETI and I adopt every day. But we haven't done a really good job of sharing it with the rest of you. That's what I'd like to do tonight. Just as Dr. Strange ends up with an alternate reality, I believe that SETI can also provide an alternate reality. Well, let's start with a fact. All right? It takes a cosmos to make a human. The iron in the hemoglobin molecules in your blood, or the calcium in your bones, they were all fused, cooked up at the core of a massive star that blew up billions of years ago and then reconnected itself and formed a cloud of gas and dust that condensed into our star, the sun, and the planets that circle around it. So if you think about yourself in that way, you have to rethink what you mean by here and now. How do you fit into that cosmos? Well, here. So where are we? Where's here? That's obviously it's here, right? At the great company. And thanks to the good work of Google, we've all gotten comfortable with seeing ourselves on Google Earth and here in the LA Basin. If you were at the altitude of low Earth orbiting satellites, you'd see yourself here. And since 1968, when Bill Anders, an astronaut, took this image as he circled around the backside of the moon and saw the Earth rising, we've been able to envision ourselves as being here, on one planet in the vastness of space. Now, I hope you all got the memo a couple of years ago and you put on a nice clean shirt and brushed your teeth and went out on the lawn and waved when the Cassini spacecraft took a selfie of all of us. All of us. All of us are on that little white dot that you can see inside of Saturn's rings. And before that, before selfie was a word, the Voyager 1 spacecraft was on its way out of the solar system, and it turned around and looked home, and it captured us as this pale blue dot. That's us. That's here. And our star, the sun, is one of only, or is one of 400 billion stars in a spiral galaxy that we call the Milky Way. And that galaxy is one of hundreds of billions of other galaxies in the observable universe. And so each point of light there is not a star, but a whole galaxy with hundreds of billions of stars. And so this is the context in which humans exist. This is our here. And as you look at this picture, you can see that some galaxies are fainter than others, and you're looking out in space and farther away. You're also looking back in time, which means that we have to appreciate now as being the current state in the 13+ billion years of evolution of our universe that is continuing. So we are, all of us, what happens when primordial hydrogen and helium from the beginning of the universe evolves for so long that it can begin to ask where it came from. We are literally made of stardust. And so in my career, there have been two game changers. First, extremophiles. We now know of an abundance of adaptive life forms existing in boiling battery acid, in freezing ice, at huge pressures at the bottom of the oceans, everywhere. All those places, when I was a student, I was told, no life, no way. We were wrong. Life is extremely adaptive. And then the other game changer has been to learn that there really are planets orbiting other stars in the galaxy, and perhaps moons orbiting those planets. Now, we found to date thousands of exoplanets. We haven't found any moons yet, but what we know now is that there's much more habitable real estate out there than we ever might have imagined. And what we can say is that we are now at the point where we can ask whether any of that habitable real estate is inhabited. So in 2004, Craig Venter and Daniel Cohen published a paper. They made a very bold statement. They said, 20th century, that was the century of physics. 21st century, that's going to be the century of biology. They were right, and I don't think they were yet bold enough, because I think it's going to be the century of biology on Earth and beyond. And I can make that statement because I think there are three ways that can happen. We can discover life as we explore the solar system, extant or extinct. We could perhaps communicate with it, that's SETI. We could find techno-signatures, or we could export it. We could go back to the moon, to Mars, to the asteroids, perhaps even someday to the stars. So the thing that's going to determine whether SETI is a success is, first of all, is there anybody out there? The good folks at Marvel obviously take that for granted, and they have planets populated by all kinds of superheroes and supervillains. We're still looking for the evidence. And it's not only that we need an exoplanet and a technology to be close to us in space, we also need it to be close in time. So if technologies appear and then do themselves in or turn themselves off, SETI won't succeed. But if, on the other hand, SETI does succeed, then it becomes the archaeology of our future. If there's any information in a message, it's archaeology. Because of the finite speed of light, it's going to tell us about their past. But if we succeed in getting a signal, it means that somebody else managed to survive, that on average technology is long-lived, and we can have a long future. So Caleb Scharf, who's the chairman of the Department of Astrobiology at Columbia, has a way of saying this. He says, on a finite world, a cosmic perspective isn't a luxury, it's a necessity. So SETI has a job to do, even if we never find a signal. Because if you adopt this cosmic perspective, SETI is holding up a mirror to all of us and showing us ourselves as Earthlings. It trivializes the differences among us. It emphasizes the need to organize ourselves globally, solve problems that we've created, and while the guardians of the galaxies may save us from the supervillains, we're going to have to learn to work together to save us from ourselves. Thank you.